unless you know what you're doing. So the title of this video is a bit misleading, but for sure there is no money in trucking unless you know what you're doing. And for most people, there is no money in trucking. I hate to say so. Welcome to one of these videos where I don't do any editing and I just talk what's on my mind. So in this video, I will talk how there is no money in trucking, whether you're a driver, a company driver, owner, operator, or a trucking business owner. I see a lot of business owners in trucking flashing their wealth and their nice trucks and facilities, their equipment, nice cars, boats, and all that. And that's all really cool for them until it lasts. And as far as owner operators go and company drivers, they don't do that. But I just want to tell you that if you don't know what you're doing, no matter if you're a business owner or a company driver, then there is really no money in trucking. And that's it could be said for any kind of business, no matter whether you own that business or if you just work for someone. It all depends on how you manage your money. So let's start with trucking business owners first. There are a lot of people complaining, and including myself. I am not a financial guru. Everyone makes mistakes. It's normal. And but I know what the trucking industry is about. I know that after 2 years of great rates, another 2 years of not so great rates are coming. So I know that, and this is not a surprise to me. And in previous recessions and whenever we had a crisis like this, I was able to make it. I managed the way I managed, and I still made some money last 2 years. Now this year, I'm making no money at all. I'm just surviving. It's normal. So I know what to expect. A lot of people get into this without knowing what to expect, without having an idea. They just see the good times, and whenever bad times hit, then they start complaining how everyone is crook and there is no money here and everyone is trying to get into their wallets. And yeah, that's partially true, but in any kind of business, it's like that. You just have to be very careful who you work with, who you do insurance with, who you buy your equipment from, who you hire. It's normal. It's same in marriage. You just have to be careful. And there are some business owners that drive normal cars and have normal houses, lead normal lives. And for them, you can never hear them complain, and they're just living normal lives. But then there are some of them who like to flash their wealth, and for them, usually doesn't end up well. And unfortunately, I have been seeing some even YouTube channels and some companies that, and they're still doing it. They're still showing their equipment, how nice they have it, how knowledgeable they are, and showing what they own and how they have this many trucks. And they keep promising these things that, you can't. You can promise them, but you're not going to fulfill them. Everyone knows that, you should be telling that to others and to yourself. So the main thing in trucking is you have to, it's not just about knowing what to do. Like any kind of business, you have to know what you're doing, in order to succeed. You have to save money. You have to be frugal. That's the problem. If you're not frugal with anything, you're never gonna make it. When you have good years and good times, you can make a lot of money and you can spend it easily if you don't save it or reinvest it wisely. There is a difference between investing and investing wisely. Sure, there are people who would buy a bunch of trucks and trailers and they call that investing. Yes, if you have a plan and if you're doing it slowly, And if you have someone that's advising you, or you have been in that for a very long time, then yes. But if you're just new to it, and all of a sudden you got a hold of a lot of money, and you're investing, buying these new trucks and new trailers without having any lanes to run, without having any customers, without having any drivers, it's not investing. That's just spending your money, and just hoping that something will come up. That's a wrong way to do it. And unfortunately, most of these trucking company owners do it that way. And like I said, I've done it, but now I'm trying not to do that anymore, because I learned my lesson the hard way, and I still see people do it. And what's worse, they're uh, giving impression that they made it to others, and everyone else wants to copy them, and everyone else is trying to do the same thing. And they would post a few YouTube videos, and people are looking up to them, and trying to reproduce that success. And it's really not success. There is this one channel, I think it's from Great Britain, and this guy is like showing his equipment. It's the trucks that he has are specialized, and he has a yard. I'm not going to go into details. I just don't want to. I'm sure this is a nice guy, but like, I don't think it's going to end well for him, the way he's been doing that, and buying brand new equipment, brand new everything, and just showing how he knows the business, and how he's this successful guy. It's not the way it goes. If you have a big multi-million or multi-billion company, then that's different. You made it. You have people. You hire people to do that, and those people are professionals. They know what they're doing. That's their job. Because you possibly, as an owner of a company, you can't know everything about the business. You can do some sides, but you have financials, accounting, marketing, purchasing, booking loads, hiring, a lot of different things. So these big companies, they have people, they have professionals for each one of those tasks. Until you grow that much, then you have to do everything yourself, and you can't possibly know everything. So that's about business owners. My advice for everyone and myself is to be frugal, and to be cheap, and start saving money, and not buy those fancy things. Now, when it comes to owner operators, that's a bit different, because owner operators, they don't tend to do those things, flash their wealth, and buy expensive things. There is only one thing that I would suggest to them, and it's the truck. So the truck that you have as an owner operator, that's probably your biggest expense, if you have a loan on it. If you have a loan on that truck, and if it's an expensive truck, then that's your biggest expense. Or even if it's an older truck that needs a lot of repairs. And then you have, of course, fuel and insurance and other things. But you have to pay that no matter what. You just have to try to save on fuel with fuel discounts, and try to save on insurance by finding the best carrier, and being safe on the road. But when it comes to the truck, you have few options when buying a truck. You have an option to do a lease to buy through the company you work in, or buy a truck, finance the truck, or buy with cash. And definitely buying with cash is the best way to go. And if you're an owner operator and you bought your truck with cash, you made it. Good for you. I congratulate you. That's the best way to do it. You buy with cash. Or if you really have to finance it, you pay it out as fast as you can, in like a year or so. Buying, well, it's not buying, it's leasing, doing that lease to purchase thing, that's the worst thing you can do. I have a few videos where I talk about that, and I've seen comments on the channel that say, well, it's still okay to do it that way, and like they have a good deal and whatnot. But I am 100% sure that it's not a good way to buy a truck. you are not going to make it most likely. If you're in one of those 1%ers of those that actually make it, that's good for you. But it has been tough. Last 2 or 3 years, you had to work. You had to work and for that truck. And they took a lot of money from you probably. But now it's your truck and it's good. You made it. But most people won't make it. And I hate to say this, I was a company driver myself a long time ago, and I couldn't buy a truck with cash. And there was something about not being, because I was new and everything. I was younger. I was not able to buy. I was not able to get a loan for a truck because the trucks were expensive. And I had no experience in trucking. No company, nothing like that. And I was offered the lease to purchase option from the company where I was working, and I respectfully declined that offer. And I say this about myself too, and about you. If you can't buy a truck in a traditional way, like they're not giving you a loan, or you don't have enough money to buy it for cash, or not even have enough money like saved up for emergencies. And if you're gonna go buy a truck like that, go lease to buy, and then when something breaks down, you have a $5,000 repair. The company you work for, they have to pay for it because you don't have that money. But I hate to say that being an owner operator is not for you. If you have to go that way and buy a truck that way, it's not for you. And like I said, it wasn't for me then either, because I wasn't ready. You don't have enough money saved up. Your credit is not good. Whatever the case might be, this is not for you. You have to get more experience. You have to save some money, get wiser, and then you can do it. But until then, just don't do it. Don't do it. And there is no offense in that. Like you can probably make more money being a company driver than that way. Go at least to buy. If you saved up cash and bought it with cash, that's the best way to do it. Your truck is paid off. Anytime if you have bad markets, you can just pull out and say, hey, I'm just gonna sit this one out. I'm just gonna wait till it passes. But if you have a loan, especially a big one, you have to work every day, no matter how much the rates are. You still have to work. So that's kind of that's not okay. But most people do it that way, and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you can manage it well. Okay, so that's the thing with being an owner operator. Best way is to pay out the truck quickly or buy it with cash. Get your fuel with where the biggest discounts are. Drive slowly. Don't drive fast, because driving slowly, I had drivers, because I've been doing the payroll for these drivers or the pay settlements for almost 10 years now, and I can see which driver is like one driver is getting $3,000 on hand after everything, after all the expenses and fuel, and another driver is always getting like 500 more or even more in a week. And that's the driver that drives slowly. and that driver made more money because that driver saved on fuel, and they don't risk any tickets, and it's easier on the truck if you drive slowly. I mean, normally, not like, don't drive 40, drive 60. And then if you have the best deal with insurance, and then also if you know how to negotiate, and also if you know where to run, how to manage your week as far as your lanes go that you do, and then find whatever works best for you. Don't keep changing every week. Like, I'm gonna go that. Find one route that sticks and that makes you most money, and that makes you feel most comfortable in doing, and then you will learn not just that route. You will learn all the shippers and receivers. You will most likely go to a lot of same companies all the time, and that saves you on time and money, because you know where they are. You know how flexible they are. You know if they're strict on appointments. You know if they have overnight parking. You get to know the people that work there. So it's easier to get you unloaded fast. You know where all the cheapest fuel is. You know where to sleep. You know where the cops are like waiting for you to give you a ticket. You know all that. So just make yourself a perfect route after a while, and then figure it out, and just do that one, and that's how you're gonna make a lot of money as an owner operator. And then we have company drivers too. For company drivers, it's really not, they don't have that much flexibility on how they're going to save money, how they're going to make most money if they're in same company. But I would advise on getting the best deal. Like if you drive for a company and try to look for a perfect company, don't just accept a job just because you want to change. I mean, most likely it's going to be same. Most trucking companies are same. I worked in a few companies and I owned few companies, and all of them, most of them are same. And like, if you keep changing companies, it's going to be less money for you because you're not going to have a steady paycheck, and you always have to start from the beginning. From like a beginner driver with the starting rate, and then you need like a year or two or more to get to make more money. And then after you make that money, it doesn't make sense to change the company because one time you had an argument with someone, or they did something that you didn't like. You could be right, of course, but switching companies, it's not going to make it better, because it's going to be the same thing. Most trucking companies are same. There is no difference. Like everyone is like, if I'm an owner of the company and there is another guy owner of the company, we're probably gonna try to save as much money as we can for the company. The only difference is maybe I'll respect the drivers more because I have been a driver, and that's what I've been hearing from the people that drive for me, or like owner operators. They like working with me because I don't yell, I don't swear, I treat them respect. That could be the only difference, but everything else is the same. I'm not gonna give you a better route. Like if we work from off of the load boards, it's gonna be the same loads. Maybe I have better connections with some brokers. Maybe I can negotiate a little bit better or worse, but it's like 95% of the things are same. So if you don't like it at a company, just try to find this perfect company if you really want to change, and stick with it. Like, you read the reviews, talk to other drivers, look them up, talk to them, see how they talk to you, if they treat you with respect right away. And then if you have to change, and then stick with that company. If you like 1099 or W-2, or you want to have benefits or better pay, better vacation, that's how you're going to make the most money. And be respectful and do what they tell you to do. Of course, don't let anyone treat you like trash, but sometimes you have to take one for the team. And I think after a while, it should be acknowledged. I think most people will acknowledge that you're a good driver, and you can, in return, ask for more money, ask for better treatment. You have more leverage. Okay, so those are my advices for you if you want to make money in trucking. And honestly, most owner operators are not going to do it this way that I just told you. Most company owners are not going to do it this way. Most company drivers are not going to do it this way, because most drivers that apply here in my authority, when I look at their resume, their application, most of them are like, in last 2 years, they changed 10 companies. Like 10 companies in 2 years. Come on. That really doesn't look good, and it's always someone else's fault. Like when they write down like the reason for leaving, it's always someone else's fault. It can't be, it can't be the truth. So most people will not make money in trucking. I hate to say it. If you treat this as a regular job, like you're a driver just because you like it. Let's say you're a company driver, you enjoy driving, you like going on the road. That's different. It's just normal job for you. But if you really want to be successful and make a lot of money, and the money that everyone is talking about and everyone is promising, then you should maybe try to do something different than what you have been doing this whole time. And I'm not saying I'm not making big money either. Far from that. I see this as a profession, as a way for me to be at home, not go out on the road, be away from the family. My companies are all small, not that big, but for me it's enough because I can still be at home, not have a lot of risk, a lot of liability, work only with drivers that I know, that I trust, and I can pick and choose. Like if you're a big company and you have like 20, 50, 100 trucks, then it gets really annoying, and that's really not for me. Some people like it that way, and it's fine. You can really get rich doing that if you know what you're doing. But it's not for me. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully I didn't bore you. So let me know if you want more of these videos like this, where I just talk my mind, and hopefully I didn't offend anyone. I mean it. I mean the best for you and for me. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.